Hello, my name is Hazel. Welcome to Financially Free Living. On this channel, we talk about getting rid of debt, we talk about saving money, and we talk about doing all these things in a realistic manner. We want to do this realistically. There's no gimmicks, there's no getting rich quick and easy, because that's not how it happens. So let's get into the video. In today's video, we are going to talk about how I was able to buy a farm, house, and land. How I saved that money. How did it happen? How did it occur? So now, saving money is not very easy for most people out there, because I think 50% of the people do not understand that you have to be keeping more money in your pocket and spending less money. That's the way you're going to save money. So the more things you have to purchase, the more things you have to pay for, the less money you're going to have in your pocket. And that's just realistic. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Spend less, have more money. Spend more, have less money. That's the simple equation of having money, having savings, and having wealth compared to somebody who does not have that. All right? So that's the formula. So how did I do that? So we bought a farm and some land. We were living in suburban. We bought a house also. We had a house there, but we wanted to buy a country place. We wanted to invest and do things with our money, instead of just taking our money and just buying things which is not gonna be of benefit to us, like a real investment. Yes, you can buy clothing, you can buy shoes, but the shoes are gonna break, the clothes are gonna have holes. Eventually they're not good anymore. But if you invest in something like a house, you can put tenants in the house and they will be paying the rent, and the money is going into your pocket. That's an investment. You can sell the house and you can get money from the house. You can take equity from the house. You can build another house, or you can buy another house using that one house. So you have to think long term. You have to think money wise and money smart. So that's what we decided to do. So the first thing we did was pay off our debt, because if you have debt, you cannot be saving the amount of money that you want to save if you have lots of debt. And personally, I think if you have debt, the majority of your money should be going to the debt instead of saving it, because if you don't pay the debt down, then the interest keep rising and you end up losing, because you are paying more. As the interest rise, then the payments become more and the amount actually increase. So maybe if you have a high amount of debt, you should start paying that down. You should have like an emergency fund of your $1,000, $2,000 in case something happens, so you can go to. But you should also be focusing a lot of your attention on paying the debt down. So we decided to pay off our debt, and then the next thing we decided to do was to live off of one salary. So my salary went into the bank, and then my husband's salary was used to pay for the bills. And this is really great. This is a great method. It's a great system, because you are working towards a goal. So I didn't touch my money at all. Every time I get my paycheck, it went there, because we had a common goal. And every time he got his paycheck, we paid all the bills. Now what this does is it forces you to make some very serious decisions, because when there's two salaries coming in, you are more free and more wild with your money, because there's extra amounts of money. When there's one salary coming in, you have to be careful. It's like you have to play a little game. Should I buy the $250 thing, or should I buy the $150 thing? You know what I mean? So when you go to the store, okay, this is $195. Should I buy the $195 thing, or should I buy the thing for $1? So this is playing the game in there. So now when I have to do my budget, instead of spending $400 because we have two salary on our grocery, now I'm spending $250. And I am definitely going to drive over there and get the cheaper deal than shop at this store where the food is a little bit more expensive. This week, when things are on sale, I'm going to shop at this store because I can get more for my money. Or we're going to eat in season because prices are lower here. And this is how we were able to save money. And up to today, we are still doing this same method. So besides living on one salary, the next thing we decided to do was to grow a garden. So the entire summer, we grew a garden. We dug up a portion of our lawn in the front of our house, and in the back of our house, we converted completely into a garden, a vegetable garden. And in the front, we kept some grass, a little bit of grass, but the majority of on the sides of the house, we had raised beds on 3 sides, and we were able to grow a lot of food, a lot of fruits. We grew vertically. We were the first people to have a garden in our front yard, like a veggie garden. Other people had flowers, we had vegetables, and I grew vertically. So I was able to grow anything and everything that I wanted. And I bought in soil. I went to farms and I got really good compost and horse manure, and I bought that in, and we had a beautiful garden. Things just flourished. So by growing a lot of our food, we were able to can a lot of tomatoes and peppers. We were able to freeze stuff. We actually invested into a very large freezer where we can put all our food. And by doing that, we were able to save a lot of money. And you may say, well, you had that luxury to do that. But a lot of you are living in houses. You actually can grow food in your backyard. You actually can grow food on your patios. You actually can grow food on the side of your houses if you make beds. You can actually ask your landlord for permission to put up a raised bed, which you're going to take down after when you leave, when you're moving out. You can do many things. People make excuses because they just don't want to do the thing, because they want to go the easier route. I see friends and people have very small spaces and they grow tons of food just on a balcony, just using 5-gallon buckets and all kind of different pots and containers, and they grow upwards. My mom lived in an apartment, and she grew tons of food just on her balcony. So these are things that you can do. Every penny counts, and we were able to save a lot of money just growing our food. And it was incredible because all winter long we were eating sauces, we were using our vegetables, our peas, our zucchini, all that stuff, and we didn't have to buy that in the store. So that was amazing. And we grew a lot of herbs, and so we dried them, and we didn't even have to buy teas. So that was so incredible. So this was a way that we saved money because we had a common goal. Now, the third way we saved money was I started making a lot of DIY products. So the first thing I started making was laundry soap, because I figured we are a family of 8 children at that time. We were a family of 8 at that time, because we all were living in the same house before we moved to the farmhouse, and so all the children were living in with us also. So we have a lot of clothes to wash. So I figure, how can I cut down on my laundry bill? Because mostly every second day we're washing laundry. My sons, they go to work, I go to work, my husband go to work, the kids, small children are in school. It's a continuous flow of laundry. Mostly every second day, we gotta keep up with this laundry. So I decided to start making my own soap. And so I was able to find materials, very, very cheap materials, which is very cost effective, and I was able to make gallons of soap that we can wash our clothes. I was paying like $12 or $15 per container of Tide or whichever no-name brand that we bought sometimes, and it didn't last very long because we had a lot of laundry to do. Now I can actually buy ingredients for $10, and I can actually make like 2 5-gallon buckets, which is going to last me for at least 6 months at a time. So I was able to make concentrated soap for very little money, whereas I was buying a soap every week, like $15, or every 2 weeks, that's $30. Sometime in a month, I spend about $45 to $50, even $60 a month buying soap. And at the end of the year, it all adds up. But if I'm spending $10 instead of $60, that means I'm saving $50 every single month, which can go somewhere else. That can go into saving. If you do the math, you would see you'll have much more money at the end of the year. The next thing I decided to do is, well, actually point number 4, is I decided to make all our skincare products. And I was already making skincare products because I have a skincare business. I decided to just make all our skincare products, soaps, lotions, creams, shampoos, everything like that. So I invested one time in some raw materials, and I was able to make a lot of the body products that we use, like lotions and stuff like that. And I was able to buy shea butter from Africa. I was able to do a lot of these stuff. And once you invest one time in something, you know where the source is, you know how to get it, and once you know how to make it, it's just very cheap. And I just started making all my DIY stuff, and so I didn't have to buy those stuff anymore. I didn't have to buy shampoo, I didn't have to buy soap, I didn't have to buy conditioner, I didn't have to buy any of that stuff. So a big chunk of that money stayed in our pockets, and so all that money just kept going into the saving, and the money that my husband was working for actually got larger because now we don't have to use that money to buy any of that thing. So we were buying rice and flour, and again we shopped when the prices were lower, and then meat and all those stuff, we actually bought meat in bulk. So we were having the meat stored in our fridge, and so we didn't have to buy meat for a while. We buy legs of lamb and different things. So when you decide to not buy certain stuff, so because we wasn't buying the shampoos and the conditioners and the skincare products, and then we were going out of our food, that money that we were spending for the skincare product, the money we were spending to buy the vegetables and stuff like that, that money now was able to go into buying meat, and the money that we was using to buy meat before, we could use it for something else. So that was really, really great. So point number 5, the other thing that we did to save that money was we went on vacations locally. So instead of traveling far away on vacation, because we are people who love vacations, every year we take 1 or 2 vacations. So we decided to take a lot of local vacations within Canada instead of traveling, flying, going anywhere. We decided to find some sweet spots that are nice, have beaches, places that we can drive for 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe 3 hours, go to a cabin, go to a hut. We went camping. We decided to diversify on the kind of vacations that we take. And so all the money that was accumulating from the things that we were not buying, we can put that money now into our vacation. And the vacation money that we used to save before, that money goes somewhere else. So you guys see how this is becoming like a snowball effect, and you see how you are saving money. You see how you're saving money. And the last point I'm going to make is I invested in a sewing machine. So a sewing machine, you can get it for like $100. You can even go to the thrift store and you can buy a sewing machine. I invested in a sewing machine, and I fixed things, my clothing. If my clothing tear, I would fix it. If I have something that it's a little bit faded or it doesn't look that hot anymore, I just turn it into something. I have dresses, I don't like them anymore, it fits at the top, I'll just cut the top off or turn it into a skirt. If I went to the thrift store, I pick up some pants, I will just sew it into a skirt. I'll just make some of my clothing, and we just decided to just live a different lifestyle. We would buy stuff, but we'll buy things on sale. So that means we'll be shopping online to see when they have different deals. We'll buy things out of season. So for winter, when the winter was going out and they were selling stuff, it's on sale, we'd buy those winter stuff for the next winter. Like, we didn't really care about what the fashion was. We care about the value of the material, and we care about staying warm and not spending a lot of money, but we want quality. So that's what we did. Now, for summer clothes, when the summer was going out and the fall was coming in, or winter, we bought summer clothes for the next summer. and that's how we did it. I bought sweaters when the winter was finishing and the fall, not the fall, but when the winter was finishing and the spring was coming, I would buy lots of sweaters because the sweaters were dirt cheap. A sweater that was like $35 was going to be $15 or $12, so I just stocked them then. So we just did this lifestyle and we were able to save a lot of money, and so we were able to buy this property at a very reasonable price. We had a good sizable down payment to pay, and we are very happy with the property that we bought. So if you're a person thinking, hey, I can't save money, I can't do this, I can't do that, if you follow some of these steps that I am telling you, you would definitely be able to make it. But everything in life is a sacrifice. You must be willing to make the sacrifice. Now, this is not easy, especially in this generation and this day where everybody wants to be independent, everybody wants to have their own money, everybody wants to have their own thing. But if you want to do something, you must be able to sacrifice. You must be able to put yourself in that line, put yourself in that mindset where I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to reach this goal, and work with all your might and all your strength to reach that goal. So if you want to buy property, I think you can use some of these tips. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you really enjoy this video series.